Philippines, good evening. Naimbag na rabi, masanto siya sa labid si kaya amin maya pabengi keka marahin na banggi sa inugubos maupay nga gabi ha iyo nga tanan dida. Mayad-mayad nga gabi, buenas noches. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Maayong gabi sa Tibok Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao up to Sabah. Ako po si Eric Espina at ito po ang inyong Republika. Well, tonight we're going to be discussing about something which is really a very basic necessity for human existence, and for that matter, the survival of our planet, and for many, many other countries. Right now, of course, Cebu is experiencing some of its pains, so to speak, and I'm sure you'll be very interested to know, because our topic will be everything and anything about water. We're very fortunate to have Antonio P. Tompar. He's an engineer, and he is the CEO, chairman of the board of Mactan Rock Industries Incorporated. Good evening, Tony.
Mayang gabi. Good evening, Sir Eric. Thank you for having me. I'm very fortunate to be here. Sorry for the last time.
Wala
I was
problema.
not here.
Wala problema. Life goes on.
Yes.
I just to give us a predicate to our discussion, and then so people can be well apprised of what is Mactan Rock Industries Incorporated.
Yeah, Mactan Rock Industries, we really started as a maker of Mactan stone in Mactan. But
Yes.
when the construction industry went down, I went back to my original, where I was trained on the water business. And also that the time, water was already very scarce in Mactan. In fact, on that time, there was no bridge yet. I think there was a bridge, but there's already major crisis in both the export processing zone 1 and 2.
Mhm.
So we envision...
How old is Mactan Rock?
Actually, we started in 1980 with my partner Lito Maderazo.
Okay.
But we gained more partners and we incorporate in 1983 with John Montuerto and William Asirin.
When you talk about Mactan Rock, for people who still do not know how a Mactan Rock looks like, especially in this new generation, how does the Mactan Rock look like? Because I remember it even reached all the way to Manila, but at least for the benefit of those who do not understand, what is a Mactan Rock?
It's a fossilized limestone together with some shells.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to Shangri-La, if you go to their counter, that's their
That is Mactan Rock.
That's Mactan Rock, yeah.
Now, what would be the difference between Mactan Rock with the shells incorporated into it, as against just pure limestone? Basically the same, or there's a slight difference?
Basically, but the essence of Mactan Rock is really about there are fossilized shells
Okay.
and even fish. No?
Okay.
If you look at it, yeah.
But it's not purely limestone. That's what you're saying.
It's not purely limestone because I think what happened, if you ask me, even if you go up in the mountain, you will see fossilized shells.
Okay.
So very high probability, or it's a fact that
We were under the sea
Philippines
before.
were Cebu was under the sea before.
Yes, yes.
And now it's on an island. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I asked that question so that people can understand that this is the kind of stone that is on the white side. The Mactan Rock stone.
It's not really white. It's
Off-white.
dirty white.
Off-white, yes.
Well, we went into water because there is no water in Mactan.
So from Mactan Rock, you ended up going into water.
Into water, yes.
I see. Okay, and then why the change in the business? Because from rock, the rock business was not going anywhere, so you decided to go into water.
Originally, I was a working student in the University of San Carlos, very, very much involved in the chemistry and water resource center. And my mentor was Father Ingilin, who was the originator of the water resource center, and we talk about water. And when I went to work, I worked with a company that does water treatment for industrial and commercial, primarily to be able to solve the water problem when you use the water for the commercial, industrial, especially boilers and cooling towers, which is very important if you want to sustain very competitive fuel cost on this, or energy cost on this area of interest. Yeah.
So right now, Mactan, what is now the ethos of Mactan Rock? You wish to provide adequate water for the residences, the industrial requirements in Mactan, or are you also going into other parts of the Philippines?
Yes, Mactan Rock is even going out of the country already. Originally, we were focused in Cebu, then Iligan, then
Okay.
Mindanao, Visayas, and then now Luzon. No? We are practically in 12 major cities and probably a count of municipalities that we are serving.
How about Mandawi?
Of course, Mandawi is our base
Okay.
since we started it because it's mostly industrial and commercial. I have more than 500 clients that are commercial and industrial. And the municipalities, probably more than 50. But essentially, Mactan Rock is a water technology company. We evolved in the industrial and commercial water treatment, which is we are still doing now. And then we went into, basically we're a chemical company before, and then we went into equipment. It's because Dow Chemicals tried to refocus us because we do have a lot of business before. As a mechanical engineer, I used to repair Pepsi-Cola plants.
Okay.
I even repair ship-going vessels in floor shipping, and then we
Including
went into-
MCWD.
I used to supply chlorine to MCWD.
Okay.
So we were very diverse, and Dow Chemicals, which is the leader in the desalination industry,
Okay.
Femtech membrane, encouraged us to go into that because we were dealing with them with some of their products already in the water industry.
When
They're
you-
very strong in the water industry.
Well, you used the word we used to MCWD. You don't do anymore.
We do
Up to now.
on the chemical side,
On the
but
chemical.
now we're more on bulk water.
Supplying
Bulk
water.
Bulk water. We're very proud to say that because Mactan really needs water, and we were doing some desalination already, there was a bid given by MCWD to supply bulk water in Mactan, utilizing desalination. And that was 15, 16 years ago.
When you say bulk water, what do you exactly mean by for technical? That's a technical term. Please explain. What does bulk water basically mean?
Bulk water is water we supply to the water district or to a hotel or to a mall through their pipes,
Yes.
and we supply the whole thing, for certain areas. Like
Okay.
Metro Cebu Water District, we practically supply the Bohol side, including Cordoba, then up to Sangrila.
Which means you have sources of
Seawater, desalination.
Just desalination for the seawater.
Before, because the limitation of the price given by MCWD was limited, we were using brackish water, spring water, owned by
Brackish.
Loloy Onchoan. I think you know Loloy Onchoan. Until now, we're doing that.
Okay.
And in fact, we have expanded already. Yes.
So your main focus is basically desalination, which is before it used to be a very expensive science. Now it's going down at least.
Yes, desalination, modesty aside, we started the first seawater desalination in the Far East for Sangrila Hotel.
Okay.
That's how we learned to manufacture these equipments. No? Our principal is Manisman Lagambo, I think one of the major companies in Germany. But they have a water company down in Austria. And we bidded for that project together with Aqua Design. And we bidded low in the concept that Aqua Design knows that we are already fabricating some equipments that are wastewater and surface water. So to lower the cost, they said we will do the design, we will supervise you, and we will build the plant there, Aqua Design. So the price of Manisman was very high. But the chairman of Manisman and the chairman of Sangrila were good friends. So he was challenged. You do the same concept, then I'll give it to you. So luckily we got I was very disappointed because it was awarded to Manisman. But I did not realize that it was also a kind of requirement of Sangrila that we should also utilize the local boys,
Yes.
especially us,
Of course.
because we were very discouraged that we bid it low and we're supposed to get If it is a
yes,
fair deal.
yeah.
If
You,
it is a
you
fair
should have
deal,
gotten
you
the
should have
bid.
gotten it. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Anyway, cut things short, it's running more than 20 years now, Shangri-La, or 25, cannot recall. But if you've been to Shangri-La,
Yes.
used to be supplied by truck water lining in the streets.
Yes.
Now there's none.
Uh-huh.
And in Mactan, probably more than 50% are all desalinations.
The original plan for Mactan Shangri-La was not really where it is right now. The original place where it was meant to be was in Punta Inganyo.
It is still there.
In Punta Inganyo with a 180-degree view.
I didn't know, but we were just in the basement.
Oh, but the original, when the owners, Kun Sing Kwok, flew over Mactan, he wanted to get the northern tip of Punta Inganyo
Okay.
as the spot for where Mactan Shangri-La would have been, because it would provide a 180-degree view of
The one that was bought by, is being developed now by
Santa Lucia.
Santa Lucia. By,
But
I also do La Santa Lucia now.
uh-huh.
In that area, we do a lot of desalination now.
So, is our science going into desalination? Is that the future of water consumption for many parts of our country, here in Cebu, even in areas where there is no water, up in the mountains in Cebu City, where people are carrying the usual water buckets for a fee? Is that the future desalination?
Actually, worldwide, it's already done. No?
Okay.
And, even in the U.S. and in Europe, we are supposed to have plenty of water. They're going into desalination.
Are we saying
because
that? Okay.
Desalination, if you transport water, it's expensive.
Okay. Yes, the cost.
So
of
you
course.
can do desalination in specific areas where there is no water.
Uh-huh.
Like in Spain, they're doing a lot in Cartagena, which are even using it, to irrigate their
Agriculture.
grapes, their oranges.
Uh-huh.
That they are more reliable now agriculturally.
Uh-huh.
That they can now, they can lock in orders the next 5 years because you have the sun and the water.
Uh-huh.
So that's been going on for a long time now. So it's not something that it should change, but the desalination cost has done. When I started this, Shangri-La was supposed to be the best in power
Yeah.
ratio.
Uh-huh.
Cost about 5 kilowatt per cubic meter.
Okay.
So if you're talking about pesos now, it's about 50 pesos per cubic meter. Now we're only doing less than 2 kilowatt per cubic meter in producing the water.
Let me ask you something, Tony, and then we're going to pause for a break. Why was it so expensive before to undertake this kind of technology, and then now why is it cheaper when Republika returns? Okay, balik na sa itong programang Republika. Ito pa rin po inyong programang Republika at kausap pa rin po natin si Ginoong Antonio P. Tompar. Siya po ang CEO, Chairman of the Board ng Mactan Rock. A while ago, we left a hanging question as to the costings of desalination in the olden days and currently now. How come it has gone down? Has the technology improved? What has happened?
Right. Just like the calculator when I was in engineering, it's too expensive, 6,000. 50 pesos now, you can buy a calculator.
Uh-huh.
Desalination has evolved a lot because it's practically everywhere. And almost all major countries are doing, because the secret there is the membrane.
Okay.
Membrane was discovered by a research company being commissioned by the U.S. government to extract precious metal in the seawater. But they found out that it's
Better use
to use to purify water.
Uh-huh.
And it's really about, we also do osmosis in our bodies.
Yes.
They just reverse the process.
Uh-huh.
So that's reverse osmosis. But they now have another technology, but unluckily it's not yet commercial. They have now the forward osmosis, where
Okay.
they are claiming that would be much cheaper in terms of power cost.
Uh-huh.
But it has not yet been commercialized.
Uh-huh.
So the evolution or the coming out of cheaper and more better water is really evolving in the sense that every year there are new technologies that are coming out.
Are we looking way down the road that eventually the water cost will also go down because technologies are improving And of course, the cost will also go down. Is that way down the line?
Exactly. When I told you about Shangri-La, the power cost alone is 50 pesos. Now I'm having, we're building a plant. Now I'm offering it to Metro Cebu as a bulk water supplier for only 50 pesos per cubic meter.
Would you encourage, let's say, city governments, local governments? Of course, they have their own local, no, but would you also encourage them to go into desalination themselves, to undertake it instead of just passing it on to another company?
That would be a very good concept, but like Shangri-La, we started earlier. Singapore. We started earlier in desalination in Singapore. In fact, those guys that were building the desalination here used to visit us here in Shangri-La. Even Japan.
And they were learning from you?
No, it's not learning from us. They were just looking if it is effective and it is good. And it was evolving. So, but our government could, like Singapore, have made this lady that was leading the desalination there and supported them. And now they're doing it on their own and they're coming up with a much better.
The government, you mean to say?
The government.
Yes.
Government I would say, would be better if they will help the private sector. Me, for example, I could have, we could have done more if, the government would have been more aggressive in helping us develop more and, until now, we will have some difficulty on, building big projects because of limited funding. But modesty aside, I built already desalination for New Zealand and for Papua New Guinea for my friends that are in the fishing industry. Instead of buying it outside, because they know I'm already building it and it's cheaper,
so they want you to build
they
it,
can always call me if they have some problem.
Yes.
So, Rodi Rivera, unfortunately, he died already. He's a close friend of mine, and I've been serving him for a long time. So that's how I evolved through the industry, and the industry helped me a lot. That's why I have more clients in the industry rather than the government.
MCWD, you're providing bulk water for MCWD. What is if you were going to be called in executive session in City Hall and all that, and they'd ask you, one of the councilors or the mayor or the vice mayor would ask you, what's really the problem with MCWD? Can you please give us some tips in order to fix? Because so many people, this is a public service. It's a utility for public service. So how do we improve public service to our people?
I would say that, I've been serving Metro Cebu Water District for a while and more than 15 years.
Yes.
And one of the major, probably deterrent is the keep on changing the...
regulations?
No, people running it. And,
okay.
Sometimes, not like in Singapore.
Continuity, you're talking about continuity of programs. Yeah.
It becomes so political and for me, politics is good, especially now. But there should be a kind of continuity because friends like the one who awarded me were out and another new guys and especially the GM and but for me that can be fixed. What I'm trying to say is originally I did propose a lot of projects for Metro Cebu Water District. I started with the idea that supplying metros because we are like a line, it would be best to supply where the demand is needed. Not that it is supplied singularly very far and then pump here. The operating pressure would be higher.
Yes.
Because you cannot reach very far.
Yes.
And the lines of MCWD is not so good.
Especially if it's going up the mountains.
Good thing about it now, Metro Cebu Water District awarded me a lot of things and where it is needed.
Yes.
And luckily, I have been here in the industry already. I have already some plants that I only expand and give them more water.
This is
like the one in Tijero. I have a plant in the land of Michel Yulier.
Okay.
And I just expanded it.
So
in Mactan. So it's really something that people should realize that since if you operate on higher pressure, look at your lines. If you pressurize it, kung may malilig, mas lumakas, di ba?
yeah.
So
It makes
that's a very...
And our pumps and our pipes are what, 1950s?
Right.
Still 1950s, yes.
Anyway, the nature. And let's also try to improve the non-revenue. The non-revenue is really high. And in fact, modesty aside, this is working well.
Okay.
Reducing the cost. And in fact, most of the things that I offered to Metro Cebu long time ago, there is one, Kotkot River. I offered it 15 years ago.
What happened?
Now they awarded it to me.
Okay.
And
They should have awarded to you 15 years ago.
I would not say that because there are different people before. You
Yes,
know?
yeah. This is the continuity you were talking about.
At any rate,
Okay.
the good thing about it, it's only 17 pesos.
Okay.
Compared to someone supplying very far, needs more power.
Yes, yes.
Which even an issue now about 13 and 26 pesos with Governor Guin. No? But that is understandable because it's very
Very
far.
far, yes.
So for me, sometimes local boys are not really given such importance in terms of, you know, asking them what is the best, you know. But come to think of it, they are now realizing that, you know, I've been producing these equipments for a long time already.
Yes, yes, yes.
And now they realize that most of my proposal to them now is being challenged in the newspaper for 45 days. But nobody challenged it because it's cheap.
Yes, yes.
It's good water.
Yes,
And
yes.
nobody can tell that I cannot deliver that kind of water.
Tony, I'll ask this of you. No, you mentioned about continuity, and then of course it's always better to supply water in high density areas, no, especially when there's a great demand. And then when you talk
And
about
desalination is the most appropriate.
yeah, when you're talking about proximity. What do you do? You know, because the government government ethos is very different, of course, no. In what I call missionary areas where people do not have water, but being government, you have no choice, but really you have to look for a way to provide for their needs as part of your public service. What do you advise?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Actually, we're doing that already, Mactan Rock. There was a time that Cebu, under the leadership of Tommy Osmeña, there is no politics here.
Yes, yes, yes.
We were asked if we can supply barangays that don't have lines.
Yes.
And we're doing that until now.
Okay.
And
You do this by trucks? How do you do
no,
this?
we build our own system in the barangay.
You build your own system, okay.
At the barangay. Like,
How about the piping? How
we also do that.
you do that also? And then you connect it to the sea, or
We couldn't. No. Because, you know, Cebu have groundwater.
Yes.
But there are groundwater that are contaminated now that we have to do blending. We do desalination and then blend it with groundwater.
Okay.
So, but you know, all these things is we have learned because we know for a fact that the affordability of the water in Cebu or anywhere else, it should be based on the poor people.
Yes.
And I think the way that they are pricing now is okay because poor is paying less. But you look at Manila. Manila now, the price is about 60 pesos per cubic meter. So high, even the poor people. So for me, I have a lot of projects now in Metro Manila, primarily on the commercial side, in the Bay Area. I just signed a contract with Ocean Park,
Okay.
Sulim, and the group of Ricky Razon in
Manila.
Soler.
Yes.
I've been serving Ricky Razon for a long time sa ICTSI for more than 15 years. And he's very happy with me. He got the North Harbor, so I'm now supplying North Harbor. Now he asked me to supply Soler. No? But sabi ko sa iyo, there are too much interference also in terms of regulation and in terms of the oligarch. I'm telling you that what Duterte is saying that the oligarchs is really controlling. Me, for example, I have been there for 15 years. I've been offering a lot of people there to get seawater, especially the Bay Area, because you know you can.
And you're always being blocked.
I'm always blocked. Until now, I'm being blocked.
Uh-huh.
But you know, like Ricky Razon, he can fight anybody.
Of course. Of course. Of course.
And SM is trying to sign up, and he's very, you know, meticulous because the other guys might not supply him anymore. I said, I can supply you everything just like in Cebu and Iloilo.
What you're actually saying is that you're telling
And I am cheaper.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You're telling actually the big boys, you don't have to get your water from only these sources. You can get it from me for cheaper. That's what you're saying.
That was a major findings in Cebu. Adala versus MCWD.
Okay.
The new constitution was tested.
Uh-huh.
Under the new constitution, there is no more exclusive franchise.
Yes, yes, yes.
So why are they trying to control it?
Uh-huh.
Especially now,
Yeah,
I think
You will end up answering your own question. You know the answer.
right,
Okay.
Mr. Gatsalia,
Uh,
because he's also very strong.
yes, yes, yes,
He contracted me with Manila Pavilion.
yes.
And I've been doing that for a long time.
Uh-huh.
I had only 2 clients for a long time. Now, people are coming to me and I said, I have signed up with this guy, exclusive supply of water. But now where is the water? You're buying truck water. Can a contract sustain exclusive water supply? Because Manila water is very bright.
Yes, yes.
When they went into it, they had asked everybody to sign exclusive to stop me.
Yes, yes.
Now I said, how can you stop? There is no exclusive franchise, and they don't have water.
Yes, yes.
SM now has a hard time supplying me. Trying to sign my contract, they said, we have to put there that eventually if they can supply, I will be out.
Uh-huh. Non-exclusive.
Because they sign a contract.
Can't consumers sign a non-exclusive?
For me, the Constitution is already defined that
Yes, yes.
water cannot be exclusive because it's
Exactly.
utilities.
Yes.
Signing that for me, how can you do against the Constitution?
Uh-huh.
And if there is no water, why should you?
Uh-huh. I have a question for Tony. No, hotels, malls, etc., etc. Do you see like what they do in Hong Kong? They use seawater for the comfort rooms, the CRs, the flushing process instead of using regular water.
Very good question, Eric.
Oh.
We are practically doing it here now,
Already.
but not seawater or other water anyway because of accessibility.
Uh-huh.
Hong Kong is doing seawater flush.
Yes, yes.
In waterfront, all waterfront, and most hotels now are even SM is recycling their wastewater. They clean up the water, and that's the one used for like waterfront. Have you seen it? It smells. Does it smell? The one you flush, that's
Yes, yes.
recycled wastewater.
Uh-huh.
So the recycled wastewater costs much less than desalination or processing the water. So instead of throwing it away, why? You have a lot of that already. Why not? No. Do you know who is the biggest water recycler? The country, the biggest water recycler in the world?
Hold on, Tony. Republika will return after these few reminders. Okay, you're still with us in the Republika, and we're still talking to Antonio P. Tompar. He's the CEO, chairman of the board of the Mactan Rock Industries. I cut you off purposely because we're going to pause for a few reminders so that it will keep the breadth of our audience baited. So please tell me, what you were going to tell us.
Yeah, the water is not exclusive.
Yes.
It should be accessible to everybody.
Of course, yes.
I'm very happy that the Gong is trying to, look at the wastewater.
You're saying democratize water.
It should be democratized. It
Yes.
should be free to everybody. Water is free.
Yes.
But as long as you will deliver it to his house and clean it, there should be some problem.
Yes, of course.
But anyway, I forgot already what was that.
Who is the biggest, you were going to say a while ago, the
The biggest water recycling country in the world.
Yes.
You might not know it. It's not Singapore.
Uh-huh.
It's not. The biggest is Israel.
Yes.
Do you know why?
They need to.
Do you know why?
Why?
The Black Sea is very high in salt. Cost them very expensive to produce potable water with that kind of water.
Uh-huh.
So they would rather recycle it,
Uh-huh.
produce potable water with it. 70% is recycled
Okay.
in
Israel. Oh.
The second one is not Singapore. 30% is recycled is Spain.
Okay, because
They also are scarcity of water. A lot of their area, like Cartagena, as I told you, are desert.
I'll ask you this, Tony, when you say that there is water scarcity, are we saying that there are not so many spring waters, wala na kayo daghang mga tubod? Or are we saying it's the delivery and looking for the businessman to undertake the piping, which will cost too much for government or for a private businessman? Which one is it? There is water there. It's just the problem of bringing it to our public. That's what you're saying.
Yes, yes,
That's the problem, the cost.
yes.
And government does not want to shoulder
And I
it.
have a very good suggestion for
Okay,
that.
what's the suggestion?
And it was envisioned by my partner Lito Maderaso. And he said, you know, in Bacolod, we won the bidding there, bulk water. And we priced it only 8 pesos, which is no way, you cannot find it anywhere. The essence is it's gravity, it's powerless. We have a lot of that in Cebu now. And what I was challenging, like Congressman Dilmar, is why don't you build, because the surface water, like Mananga, building
Yes,
the dam costs
yes,
a lot of water.
yes, yes.
If you build a dam there, we can use the gravity. We can even reduce the price of water.
Yes, obviously.
But instead of government spending a lot of money in the
Building the dam.
concrete road in the mountain that only Carabao is using,
Yes,
build a dam.
yes.
I can treat that water at less than 10 pesos, 8 pesos. And you can bring down the price of water here.
What are the pricing schemes that you see here? If you build a dam, how far?
Right now, the cost of bulk water in MCWD is more than 20, sometimes 30, 50.
Okay.
If you lower it down to even half or a third, you know, from average probably 30 pesos to 10 pesos, less than 10 pesos. Of course, what can we do? We have to reduce the price. So that's the biggest challenge. Probably you can help me.
You're saying that we should build a dam.
The government should build a
The
dam.
dam, yes.
We have a lot of sources upstream.
Yes.
Now we can put the dam. Losaran, for example, there are a lot of that. And Mananga.
Yes.
And then bring it down by gravity. We'll have cheap water. Why worry? The technology is here already.
Yes,
We
yes.
are doing that. Modesty aside, I have more than 50. Very dirty water, muddy water, converted it to clear potable water. I have a very, I presented that to the International River Summit, and they were very amazed that I was doing that practically in 25 rivers already in the entire country, but not in Cebu.
But just for the public to know, daghan tang tubod din ni Cebu, no? We have a lot of
Yes.
spring sources.
Yes.
Daghang gyud tang tubig actually.
Sa Talisay sa una karon nga hubas man.
That's San Remigio ko no, na San Remigio pod.
Plenty already is pumping it out, so the spring are dead.
So patay na.
In Talisay alone, plenty of spring, but after people were building their own wells, including Metro Cebu Water District, of course what will happen, there is no more water coming out. You have to pump it out. And pumping water is expensive water.
Well, they were talking again of these big ticketed projects like sa Bohol kuno, manguha tag tubig sa Bohol pa and all
It's
this.
gonna be more expensive. That is why.
And you don't subscribe to that.
No. Let's use what we have. My challenge also, if we have dams in our major cities, like what happened in Singapore, during rainy season, we can stop all the wells and desalination. And instead of making this water flood our city, let's use it. And we can do it.
I was going to ask you about rain collection. Nabatay na. Wala pa, no? We are not really serious about it. Is that correct?
Rain collection is Haklopan is a kind of rain collection that is another dam done by Metro Cebu Water District because it's being utilized. Rain is utilized that way. You know, we have been doing that. The only thing is that's cheap water that is God given. I do not know why government is not putting money there.
They should. That's what you're saying.
They should put money there.
Okay.
They should not put the private company because what will happen if Mananga will develop, somebody will develop it. I heard somebody will develop it for 7 million and the price of water is 50 pesos already.
Oh, wow.
The government, instead of building a lot of those roads and all those,
Yeah.
you go to Davao,
Water.
to Cagayan, nagkuwag danoy. Tag-unom ko lang, may sud. Kanilang daan sa ato diha sa ibabaw sa Kapitulyo, kadaghan ang gi-concrete ni may grama. Puti naghanap, puti nakuwag.
Sa mga bukid.
Nganong di man nahimuon na itong mga gabyong dam, nga tinguan, instead nga mag-flooding ta dinhi, ato nang gamiton.
Rain
And
collection.
I can be very helpful there.
There even
Not only me, a lot of other technologies.
I'll ask you, Tony, water table is going down.
Yes.
Salt seepage is getting into the soil itself.
Yeah.
That's happening, no?
Yes.
Part of it is because
We're overpumping.
well, they're also saying that the runoff of water is bigger now. I mean, you know,
Yes, that's true, that's true.
The runoff of water, because we're building more cement. I mean, you know, this water
Yes,
is supposed
yes,
to go
yes.
to the ground.
Yes, yes.
So there must be a way to somehow harness what is naturally there and God-given in order to add to our water resources.
God has given that natural catchment already.
Okay.
If you look at us, we have ravines.
Yes.
Just put a stop. You know, Singapore, you look at Singapore, you know, Marina Barrage.
Okay.
They converted a seawater river
Uh-huh.
that the sea in come and go. Put a barrier,
Uh-huh.
and they convert that already to fresh water.
Okay.
And in fact, because of a lot of rain and everything, they are building a lot of small lakes up in their highlands
Uh-huh.
that in case there is no more water, they can use that.
Uh-huh.
And it becomes a very nice area that they put wildlife there already.
Okay.
Let us learn from Singapore. They have been doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But Singapore, if you come to think of it, they have a seawater desalination.
Yes.
They have a water recycling.
Yes.
But why are they still using the Malaysia water?
Uh-huh.
Do you know why?
Why?
Economics.
Okay.
They buy cheap water from Malaysia,
Uh-huh.
treat that water, and sell it back to them.
Yes.
They made money, and they also use it because it's cheap water.
And the Malaysians don't know it.
Malaysia knows that.
But again, I know what you're talking about already. I know where
No,
we're
no,
going.
that's-
I understand. I understand this.
And they are not using it. They build a desalination just in case Malaysia will cut them off. They build a big, water storage and everything in case Malaysia is off.
Okay.
But now, already 90% of the water is Malaysia
I'll ask this.
because it's cheap.
I'll ask this of you, Tony. No, we're talking about water distribution. There's the other aspect here, no, the other part of the coin, which is usually the dirtier side of it, but it's a necessity for human existence. Sewage systems. We're very poor in sewage systems. Would that be fair? Would that be a fair statement?
True. We have the law and Metro Cebu Water District, the second mandate is sewerage.
And we are not focusing on it.
But I do not know why. But I got a letter from DNR because they cannot have it implemented by probably the government, which is MCWD or what. Or whatnot. I'm supplying large part now of Mactan and in Panglao. And DNR told me, you should treat that water because that's the mandate.
Yes.
So I went to them, I said, I am going to invest, you have to do this. But the businessman doesn't like to cooperate.
Uh-huh.
I was telling to them that, I can sell it to you cheaper and that can reduce your water cost. Just like what we did to SRP.
Uh-huh.
SRP is a very nice project. We do seawater desalination, we collect all the seawater, treat it, and resupply it as non-potable water. It can bring down the price of water.
Yes.
Because why do you have to use potable water?
Precisely.
Domestic water.
Precisely.
We call it for flushing, for
Yes,
irrigation.
yes.
And mind you, the water that I'm talking about is clear water and sanitized.
Mm-hmm.
The
And it
only
will not
thing it doesn't
smell.
taste good.
It will not smell like seawater. Yes.
It will not.
Yes.
Yeah. So, we build SRP.
Okay.
But we are not there now.
Uh-huh.
Because there's a major problem there. We built a very big system because somebody there locked us up for a very huge volume, but until now they cannot even consume 15%
Uh-huh.
of what they have. But they're very powerful, you cannot do it.
We understand the economics of water, but there's the other side of this, though, the sewage area.
We can do that and we can make it cheaper.
Who will
the
do-
effective price would be cheaper.
Who
The
will-
only thing is you have to recycle.
Okay, and then you also need, of course, am I correct? Wastewater, etc. All the science for
Sewerage,
this. Yes, for storage.
We are on that already.
Okay.
We also build system like SRP. We call it total water management. We supply you the potable water and we supply you the treated wastewater. And then we calculate that if you can recycle 50%, we will only build smaller.
There's not so much money in storage, frankly speaking. Or is there?
There is.
There is money.
The only thing people are misinformed.
Okay.
Government is misinformed. Mainly, why is it very advantageous now? It is because of economics. It is cheaper to recycle water than to produce potable water.
In Paris, they have big football areas under the sea, underground. Why aren't we building this?
You don't ask me.
I'm throwing this. I'm throwing this.
Sometimes common sense is very easy, but sometimes
It is
the politics you try to look at it.
it's the common sense that's not very common.
Right, right.
I'm mentioning this so that our politicians can hear this, because in Paris they've got, oh my goodness,
You should show this in Manila.
they-
and tell
they-
this-
they collect
tell these senators and congressmen to look at it.
And then the other thing there that this one I'd like to ask of you. Many
You know what happened in Manila?
Yes.
They are paying for wastewater, but the major contractor did not build it.
Because you're paying for it. You're paying for it. Why don't they build it?
Now the award, somebody told me, we awarded already several billions
What?
to build it. Only now.
To increase their profit margins. That's what you're saying.
We can supply good water to Metro Manila even cheaper if we do both.
Okay.
Just like Israel, just like Spain, like SRP now. Use, it was Father Van Engelen who instilled it to me, my mentor before. Use water, appropriate quality to appropriate use. Use potable water. We only use less than probably 10-15% potable water. The rest is not.
Okay.
Why do we have to use potable water for everything?
Correct. Usik kayo nga kulang ang panahon, pero daghan na tang nakatunan, daghan na tang nahibaw-an, nakamatikod na ta, o siguro hinaot nakamata na pud tag-usab. Okay. I would have wanted to find out kay kada balay na magunay angay ko kalibangan asa man na mapunta, ang uban walay wala na sila kaugalingong asa na i-koneksyon. So samo kayo, and then many Filipinos don't even use toilet paper. Anyway, we'd like to thank Antonio P. Tompar, the CEO and chairperson of the board of Mactan Rock Industries. Daghang salamat.
Daghang salamat sa Sir Eric for inviting me.
Daghang salamat.
I hope I was able to contribute something to your program and for everybody to learn, and I hope that eventually we will learn it.
Of course, or relearn it and relearn it. Ito po si Eric Spina, wala na po tayong oras. Ito po ang kabuuang isang oras natin na palagi nagsasabi sa inyo, magmasid, makialam, higit sa lahat ay manindigan. Dahil wala pong magmamahal sa Pilipino kung hindi ang Pilipino. Daghang salamat, mahing gabi kaninyong tanan.